What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
To the first ever.
To the first ever.
June
2018.
2018. Kind of funny games.
Kind of funny.
Ask kind of funny games anything.
Ask kind of funny games anything.
I always think it's going to be kind of funny
Ask the kind of funny Gamescast anything.
Yeah.
Ask kind of funny Gamescast anything.
Yeah,
You don't have to just put the in there. That's too formal. And we're here with our Patreon supporters. No need to be formal.
Oh God. There's no need to be informal though. You know what I mean?
I didn't undo the
I'm
mic.
worried about the water.
I'm worried about your ass.
Why would you do that? Why would you be worried? How you doing, Greg?
Good, dude. How are you? I'm excited to get
great.
this over with so we can play Fortnite.
Yeah, you're gonna play a little bit of that.
I'm addicted, Tim, and I can't stop, won't stop. I got a house guest at home, so when I go home, I don't get to play any Fortnite.
Yeah.
Gotta get it where I can. I
Gotta
get it here.
Gotta get it. I appreciate that. You want to start off with question number one?
I do, but I like your eyes.
I love this too. Question number one comes from Ron Barron. Ron Barron says, what changes do you want to see for the next PlayStation and Xbox controllers?
Great question, Ron Barron. Fuck. As somebody who doesn't use Xbox a lot, if ever, really. I mean, I use it once in a while. I feel like that controller's great. Mm-hmm. And that's where we all feel like too, right? Like it'd be nice if the Elite came bundled in, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would want a PlayStation Elite style controller. I don't love the Xbox controller as much as everyone else.
Don't get me wrong.
I don't understand.
I'm a PlayStation person.
Yeah.
Like the DualShock's been with me for so long that I understand the form factor. I don't care. People are always like, "Oh, offset 6 are the way you have to play." I'm like, really? I don't
agree, and also I like D-pad games more. So to be on my PS4, DualShock 4 all the way. And it's like I just don't like the kind of shape of the Xbox controllers. Like I don't like the Nintendo Switch Pro controller either.
Pro controller's great. I've been using that so much with Fortnite that it's just starting to feel like home. I love it a lot, and I am becoming a big fan of the Pro controller buttons because you were a big fan of the big buttons.
The big old buttons.
You didn't want baby buttons. They didn't give them to you. Now I'm a big fan of them.
They did that shit.
So I don't feel like I'm actually versed enough to tell you what I'd want in an Xbox controller difference. I feel like it's fine and it's been fine for a while. I don't know. Nobody liked the D-pad on 360 and they fixed that. So there you go.
But they didn't fix it though. That's my thing. It's like the D-pad. Get a better D-pad.
All right.
People say it's good. It's not. I beat Cuphead. I can tell you, it's not that good.
That's true, he has done that. PlayStation-wise, of course, I'm going to tell you to ditch the touchpad. I don't think anybody makes use of it. It's something we've put in there, and people have done things with it, but they're just putting it in for...
it's killing battery.
It's just putting it starting. Like the big thing is the light bar. I think we need to be able to just turn off the light bar. I know that you can change the intensity of the light here on out, but that is what kills that fucking controller so fast.
Fix that battery, man.
And yeah, exactly. That's the biggest problem, is that the things die so damn quickly. Personally, I don't love the rounded nature of the handholds down here. You know what I mean? Like how they come down to like nubs or whatever.
I love it, man.
I don't hate it, but it's just I liked.
Give it to me in my veins.
I liked it when it was more angular, I guess, before than now they're round. I'm fine, but again, I'm fine.
Controller-wise, I've been really concerned about Super Smash Brothers coming out on the Switch. I'm like, well, what fucking controller am I going to use?
Don't give in and go to the GameCube.
Don't give in.
Don't give in to use the GameCube.
I'm always going to use the game. GameCube's always going to be a thing. But the thing is, that's only docked.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You can't do it. You got to break yourself of it because this is the big problem.
I'm broken, though. I'm already broken. Since Brawl, I've been broken. I can use a class controller. Even back in the Melee days, I didn't have enough GameCube controllers, so I had this like cheap converter that let me use a PS2 controller. Like, I'm fine. I'm not one of those babies when it comes to it. But I do want the options. I want to be able to have a good experience with it. And I don't think the Pro controller, I just don't like the Pro controller. So for me, I want to find a way to be able to use the DualShock 4 to be able to play Smash. And I know this sounds like blasphemy, and I think I thought of a workaround this morning.
Okay.
Get the 8BitDo wireless adapter, which is USB. Originally, I was like, oh, there's no USB on the Switch. It's only on the dock, so we're going to have a problem. But there's USB-C to USB converters. So I'm like, what if I got a USB-C to USB dongle, hit it with that fucking 8BitDo wireless thing? I think I could use the DualShock 4 on the Switch portably.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
Do what you got to do.
Unless, for me, the best case scenario is they release a modern wireless GameCube controller. Like, even if it's third party, I'm fine with it. If they nail it like 8BitDo did with the SNES thing, I might even just use that.
For me, it's that I am broken. I only know how to play Smash with a GameCube controller, and so I need to get over that when we get here. And when we get here, I'm going to play on the Pro Controller and just have to stick to that and relearn everything because I just don't want to ever go. The amount of times I visit a developer, I'm killing time for a friend or whatever, and they're like, oh, they're playing Smash. Oh, sure. I never want to sit down and be tossed a Pro Controller and just be like, you know what I mean? Like, and just be, I'm mediocre at best in Smash in general, but like to get in there and just be terrible and be like, I'm much better than this. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. And maybe it's because I've been broken so long ago, but it's not like it's a radically different setup. For
at E3, I was lost.
That's so
I kept falling off and dying. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been playing Link one way for a long time, all right?
Yeah.
Blue Tunic, Link in the house. Cool, Greg, give me a what up.
What up? No more. It's gone. R.I.P.
He's got Blue Tunic Link. Is he Blue Tunic Link by default?
Well, by default, yeah, but he's not like the right blue. Yeah.
That's what I say that.
Number 2. What's happening, KF Games Crew, says Peyton Stone. When it comes to next gen PlayStation, Xbox consoles on the horizon, what will each company have to do to wow you? Wishing you fellas continued success. Fellow best friend, Peyton Stone.
Peyton Stone. What does the next gen PlayStation, the next gen Xbox have to do to wow us? For Xbox, it's got to be exclusive lineup. They've got to come out at that Xbox reveal event or whenever they are really talking about it and be like, this is what the launch lineup is. This is why you need it on day one. And here's what we have, clearly seeding for the rest of the thing. Here's what all the people we acquired at E3 2018 are working on and why you should care.
Yeah.
PlayStation-wise, I think it's got to be them really going back to the message of the PlayStation 4. And we are about the gamers, and we are here. And you don't have to do as big a mea culpa as you did with PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4 when you're like, hey, we know the cell process was hard to work with. We know this was a problem. Da, 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 da. I think you do need to come out, though, and maybe this happens over time now, but I do think they need to dial it back to being human people again. Mm-hmm. Why the PlayStation 4 was so cool because, hey, it's about games. Here's Mark Cerny. Here's Shuhei Yoshida. Here's Gio Corsi. Here's Adam Boyes. Here are the people who are making games. They're making fun of Xbox in this commercial. Yeah. And now here's Sean Layden 2 weeks, 3 weeks after the fact talking about this Fortnite debacle because one person in the audience asked a question. It's like, no, let Shu open press conferences in a big old comfy chair again. Let them be the people that make games. That's clearly what is resonating with Xbox's strategy right now, where it is, man, sure, there aren't the exclusives people care about, but man, Phil Spencer's saying all the right things. Major Nelson's saying all the right things. They're making the right decisions that are consumer focused. I don't think the next gen systems is going to be a wow thing in terms of graphics. I don't think it's going to be a wow thing in terms of apps. I think that, like PlayStation 4, at launch, the wow was cool. Twitch is embedded. Mm-hmm. I can Twitch my games natively from the start. That's awesome. It wasn't like, man, this Madden looks so much better than the other Maddens. Yeah, it was about the way they were positioning themselves and the way they were talking about video games.
The thing that would wow me, and this is for both of them, is having a cloud-based gaming system that actually works. PlayStation Now, do you is count not that.
So are you counting right now Game Pass?
Xbox Game Pass, I think, is a good step in that direction.
100%.
But I feel like to wow me would be to take that to the next step and to have backwards compatibility. I mean, like, it is just an evolved Game Pass. Like, have that really be their strategy and add all the exclusives. I mean, I guess it's one or the other of have Xbox have really worthwhile exclusives that are going to be part of Game Pass, or give PlayStation a Game Pass-like thing that has the full PlayStation library from the past. Maybe not the full, but like PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4 games.
The way we're building and what will have to wow people, is going to be services and the service you get from these boxes, not what the boxes can do. Boxes, even PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, it's like, cool.
We're good.
The games look better.
I mean, that's the thing is like, looking at Nintendo to add them to this, like it's a real bummer that we're not getting like PS4, Xbox One level ports of all the third-party games on the Switch.
Yeah.
Switch is, and Nintendo traditionally has been a first-party console, and I feel like we're good. Like, we hit that point with graphics, and even with the Wii U, when you look at Super Mario 3D Worlds and you look at Breath of the Wild and Captain Toad and pretty much any of the good first-party Wii U games and now Switch games, like moving on, like even just the little graphical upgrades of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe versus Mario Kart 8, Mario Odyssey compared to Mario 3D World, it's not like they're shockingly better,
right?
But they are better, and I'm like, if Switch gets to a point that everything is 1080p and like it's at least that, it's like, dude, the art styles speak for themselves, and like don't really need them to be any better. Looking at Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, that's how I remember Pokemon looking when I was a little kid in my imagination, let alone the actual game. You know?
I'd like to call it the fact that the fan is on, just pointed at no one and nothing. So can you get that oscillating? There you go. Now it's going. It's hot, and it's a hot one here. These lights, I tell you. I remember when we bought this place and people were like, the lights aren't going to be that bad. I was like, you fucking lied to me, Matt Scarpino.
Liars,
and if I ever see you in the streets again, I'll hug you.
See me in the streets.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, cool guy.
Chris Boring says, hey, KF crew. I'm currently working on my first game, a narrative-driven game that takes about an hour to complete. Greg, you've championed games like Gone Home, Friday the 13th, and Last Day of June. As a KF best friend, I would never have heard about these games if it wasn't for you, and I've always liked having more mysterious, unknown titles in the same conversations as the AAA God of Wars. But with so many 9 or 10 out of 10 40-hour games out there, as an aspiring developer, I'd love to know what pushes you guys to give smaller indie titles a shot. Length, art style, or platform. If you can't get coverage from the IGNs of the world, where should new developers turn to for support? Thanks, Chris. P.S. I'll send you guys some codes when I'm done. Smiley face.
So what pushes you guys to give smaller indie titles a shot? Length, art style, or platform? I think platform doesn't matter. And I know that's I'm the guy who hates PC and all this shit, but like platform doesn't matter. If it's a good game, people are going to play it. I think all of this gets thrown out. What pushes Greg Miller to give small indie titles a shot is PAX, is GDC, is the indie nights at all these different events that you go to. It is the fact that you go there, and I feel at a glance I can walk around and see a combination of both art style and gameplay and know if that game's for me. That's not to say I see the other games I see aren't for me or shit. It's that I'm Greg and I know what I like, and it's a rarity that a game like comes out from nowhere and has nothing that I would normally care about that I can't see why I'd be interested in it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, there's the word of mouth factor, and it does help when IGN gives Celeste a 10 out of 10. I wouldn't have played that game otherwise.
Really?
You know? Oh, yeah.
You would have played Celeste. You saw Celeste before the review of IGN.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, great, another 2D
retro
platform.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like, that's the thing is, like, those are a dime a dozen these days.
Well,
like,
sure, but even I remember it from directs, right?
There was one direct.
I saw a video of it, but before the reviews came around, I was like, oh, that game looks rad. I want to
think of all the Nindies events in particular. Like, there's like 15 games, and it's like, oh, these all look rad, but it's like, am I actually going to play the majority of them?
I feel like that's the same way of like, it's just window shopping, where it is the fact that we're no longer, and us in particular, right, and personalities in general that you're talking about, of like, if you can't get coverage from an IGN, and even then you're thinking too broadly, but I'll get to that in a second. For us, we're personalities. We have our own tastes, and what I like isn't going to be what you like, and what Kind of Funny likes isn't going to be what Funhouse likes. And there's all these different ways to go. So when you're making a diverse product and you see an Indies event, when we go to see the Indie stuff at GDC, I walk out super excited about Garage, whereas that's the game you saw and you're like, that's fine, but it's not about
it looks very cool.
Right, but you were all about Bomb Chicken. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a way to trade it off and do that, where
Definitely.
I think it resonates in a different way.
Or just Shapes and Beats is probably a good example for me.
Sure.
You could look at that game, you're like, that's a Tim game.
Yep.
Like,
immediately. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's like there is just that personal taste, but for the length, art style, or platform, I think all of those are key factors for me of what gets me interested in these smaller games. Like knowing whether it's on Switch and a game that I can play on an airplane, or it's more of a PlayStation 4 Journey style. You're gonna play through this in one sitting.
Yeah,
like that definitely, depending on how I'm feeling at the time, can affect me.
So now what I was saying there is I want to get back to the, that an IGN won't cover you. Remember, it's not about IGN not covering. It's about you not going to the right person at IGN. You know what I mean? What Miranda likes is what is different than what Destin likes, is what's different than what Damon likes. You can go with a game like The Messenger, right? And go like, all right, cool. It's like Ninja Gaiden. It's an NES. That's a Damon Hatfield game. That's a Damon Hatfield-ass game, right? And then you know to approach him and talk to him about that kind of game. And I think that's what you need to think about, Chris, when you're talking about yours, right? Is that, if you can't get coverage from IGNs of the world, where should new developers turn for support? You need to target specifically the personalities that care about those kind of games, right? There's a reason Shovel Knight came after Colin, because they know that they were a Colin-ass game.
Totally.
There's a reason, people come to you for rhythm games, or people come to me with like fucking superheroes, and that's a dumb example, but you know what I mean? People, if you listen to podcasts, if you watch shows, you know what people care about, and you know how to go get them. And so here at the end is your thing. Thanks, Chris, P.S. I'll send you guys some codes when I'm done. Should you? Is your game my kind of game? Like you say, it's an hour-long narrative game. Okay, cool. so far I'm in. Now, again, we're talking about what would get me interested in it. Yeah, okay, great. And like I played Gone Home on PC, right? But like when you send that code, I need more than, hey, it's an hour-long narrative-driven game, and I'm a best friend. Like, you need to tell me why I'm going to care about that game and why I need to play it on a PC when I normally don't, right?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing is the amount of blind codes sent to me. I look at them, and then granted, I know Steam is different than Switch because I know it's hard to get Switch codes and vice versa, and like you have to pay for them on certain things, yada, yada, yada. But like the amount of people who clearly don't, they know of me, they know of Kind of Funny, but so they're just gonna fire.
They see a following instead.
They fire codes at us, and it's just like text, code, a link to the press. I'm like, fucking archive. You know what I mean? Or like, I try to usually go through and put the code into the giveaway pile, but I'm in the middle of a million other things anyway. So it's just like, that isn't a smart way to do it. That's a shotgun approach, and that is needed, I think, with, hey, I signed up to this PR list, so I have 70 outlets that are like .coms and .cos I've never heard of, and I'm just not in that ecosystem. Fine. You need to make, lack of a better term, a hit list of, here are the top 10 people I know care about these kind of games in this industry, and I need to approach and show them what I care.
Absolutely. And it's funny because it works both ways. Like even with like Nintendo, like a company as big as Nintendo, they're limited on how many codes they can give out to people. And there's all these types of weird rules and lists and this and that.
We can never get extra codes for Nintendo games.
Nintendo, it's just
you and me get them, and then
happen.
I'm like, can I get one for Andy? And,
and even then, it's like on a game by game basis, they'll reach out to us and be like, hey, do you guys want like, are you going to cover this?
Are you really going to play
or
Sushi
should
Strikers?
we give this to someone else? And like, should we target someone that's going to? And like, you know, we know a lot of the people over at Nintendo, and they know us so well. Where it's like, it's at the point where Captain Toad, they're not even going to ask. They're like, here, Tim, you're getting Captain Toad. But Xenoblade Chronicles, they're going to be like, do you want Xenoblade?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? No.
Nick really does. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
Nick does.
Yeah.
Final question of the day comes from Chauncey.
I don't think that's true.
Oh no, two. There's two more. Chauncey.
Why are we saying it like this?
Chauncey.
Hey,
Chauncey,
bring around the governor's vehicle.
As I feel this will be happening post E3, potentially it was awesome meeting you Thursday at the meet and greet. Nick, you're my spirit animal. I'll let him know that. What, if anything, were you disappointed they didn't have this year? As someone going for the first time and knowing nothing about what happens at E3, did I miss anything? Again, this is all pre-E3, so it might be nothing, and I plan to try and do everything I can.
Jeez, okay.
I got one word answer to this. Superheroes.
Superman.
All superheroes.
Yeah. No
Where
Avengers.
The fuck was Avengers?
Yeah.
Where's Rocksteady? Anything?
Yeah.
This is weird.
No, 100% that I do agree with you. Yeah. What was I disappointed we didn't see? Yeah. What Rocksteady was working on, what Avengers looks like. I felt like, we could have definitely seen a double down on some of that and get more of it. But I assume for Marvel, they just want to let Spider-Man have its moment. You know, we're right there. The finish line's in sight, September 7th. Get it done. But then, Rocksteady.
We get
not ready
so
yet.
Close to that.
I know, right?
Oh my God. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, I feel like this was a great E3. And the only thing, if you were at E3 and you didn't see the Cyberpunk demo, that's probably the one.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one. Or Resident Evil. I didn't see Resident Evil, and I feel bad about that.
Playing Resident Evil was fucking awesome. And we're so close to that as well.
When's that?
January. But like, for a game that was just announced, it feels super close. Josh M says, hey guys, this may have been covered in the meantime on Kind of Funny Games Daily, but I was hoping for Greg's thoughts on the news about Friday the 13th. I really do enjoy the game and have seen their posts about the end of the DLC due to legal issues with the license. Do you think this is really the end or hopefully just temporary? Feel free to skip if you've already discussed on Games Daily. Love you and the KF fam. Keep up the good work. Josh M.
Yeah, Josh M. We've talked about it before, but just a recap for everybody. Yeah, if you haven't been watching, of course, basically what happened is there's a lawsuit about the Friday the 13th IP that the video game was excluded from for a while, and now it is no longer excluded from, meaning that because of the legal ramifications, they can't create anything new for it. So they can't make new costumes, they can't make new maps, they can just bug fix pretty much what's out there already, which is all sorts of fucked up, and there's all these conspiracy theories in the subreddit about it, their subreddit, not ours, about the hardcore kids. And it's just it's a shitty situation for everyone involved. And so when that got announced, the hope was for just a day or so that, okay, cool, they'll work on stuff, and then when the lawsuit's done, they'll put it out. And they Gun Media and Ilphonic had to come out and be like, no, you don't understand how video game development works. Like, we can't do that. We can't sit here and make stuff hoping one day we can put it out, not knowing when that is.
Yeah.
We are officially ending all other than bug fixing and supporting and making dedicated servers, I believe. we're stopping all work on Friday the 13th and have to move on to something else to make money to get to do a game or whatever. So it's heartbreaking. I love Friday the 13th. I've obviously not obviously, you don't know. I haven't played in a while just because there's been so many other things going on. But it was a game I wanted to see have a really long life cycle, right? And it's been a rocky road for them, obviously, from launch, being too popular, crashing servers, all this shit. And then they put out a production roadmap in the fall of last year that seemed really aggressive, and sure enough was way too aggressive. Mainly though, they were trying to get onto a new engine, which took forever, and so they had to wait for all that shit to happen. They finally put out the new engine, introduced all sorts of new bugs, as you'd expect. Yeah. They were working on that, and then all this happened. So it really feels like that's a game and a team that could not catch a break throughout it. And even if you want to think some of the horrible rumors on Reddit or whatever that like, oh, they were scheming to do this, like, sure, okay, let's say that's true. That's right. The end part of it. What about everything that came beforehand? Like, you know what I mean? Like, these guys are people who fucking love this franchise and care about it so much and put so much TLC into that. When me and Jen over Halloween went and bought that collection off Xbox and watched like all 8 of them every other night, like, having already played the game for months at that point, to see the movies and be like, oh fuck, they made this lodge picture or pixel for pixel, and oh, that's why that Jason's strength is this. It's like, wow, cool. There's so much fucking love in this game that I think you would know if you're a hardcore fan, but if you're somebody who just played Friday or watched Friday 13th and then jumped in here, you're like, oh, that's cool, but you don't understand how fucking cool it is.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys for your support on Patreon. You allow us to do all this cool stuff.
We didn't really jump into it. This was Ask Kinda Funny Gamescast anything. This is, of course, a benefit of being on patreon.com/kindafunny, right? This, of course, is if you support us at the $15 level or anywhere up, you can ask wherever you want. But if you support us at the $1 level, this goes up as your exclusive show. This is a bonus show for you.
Well, it's not for free.
Well, it's $1. That's pretty much free. You get party mode too.
Yeah.
Watch more fucking party modes.
Yeah, all of you, please.
I was talking to Nick about this on a show. Next week's Comic-Con.
Yes.
The week after, when we're back here a full week, I think we should call it Party Mode Week and promote Party Mode all week, through all the shows and really, really hard. Of like,
I'm into that.
Today we're promoting this episode, and this episode is the next day, and yada, yada, yada.
I like that.
All right, cool.
Well, till then, love you. Bye.